Hello, welcome to our Craftember. Today we're going to be sharing a fun little ornament craft with you. This is my helper Declan. He's 7 and will be showing us the child range of each of these ornament projects. If you're new here and haven't met before, my name is Jocelyn. I am the owner-operator of My Way Acres Farm and Fiber. Glad you're here. Let's make some ornaments. Okay, first let's take a look at some of the supplies we're going to need. First off, you're going to need some either toilet paper tubes or paper towel tubes. I have one for each of us, a pair of scissors for each of us, and then some yarn. This is a great way to use up scrap yarn or like little random bits of, if you're a spinner, the little bits of hand spun singles perhaps that you don't have more to ply with. So great versatile project. And if you'd like, you can add in some little pom-poms for the top of it, or you can use the yarn itself to make the pom-pom. So first, what we're gonna do is cut the brim of the hat, and this is a little, you can kind of mix and match however you want to make it, but you want it to be a little bit more significant. You want it to be a little bit more significant than, you know, like 1/4 of an inch or something. So I would go with like maybe 1/2 inch. That way it's not too flimsy.
Like that?
Yeah, that's about 1/2 inch. So you'll just cut a strip across the tube. And if you're going to make more than one ornament, you can get several out of these tubes, and obviously a lot more if it's a paper towel tube. So I'm going to prep a couple. Because I'm sure one kid does one, they're all going to want to do one. So you can set aside your other ones for now. You just need the one. Okay, so then you end up with a little tube like this, and that's going to be the brim of your hat ornament. Okay, next you're going to pick a yarn. These are the ones that we have, baby. You go ahead and pick first. You're going to do that one? All right, I'm going to do this red one. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to pick a distance, and it's going to depend on the size of your, like, how big you want the hat.
Oh, yeah.
On how long to do it. But here's the thing, it's better to do a little bit longer than it is to do shorter. So I'm going to pick from my hand to my elbow as my length, and then I'll use,
just like this one?
Yeah, and then I'll use this one as my guide. And you're gonna want to cut quite a few of these.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So we are going to cut a bunch of these and meet you back here in a minute.
Wait, how much are we going to do?
Okay, now we've got our lengths of yarn cut. I might need some more because my yarn is thinner, but I wanted to get started and see how much we were going to need before I kept cutting unnecessarily. Declan, on the other hand, he's using a thicker yarn, so he probably won't need as many. So that's why I can't give you a definitive cut X number of strands, because it's going to depend on the gauge of your yarn. So what you're going to take your little rim, and you're going to fold these in half, loop it through your brim, and then take the tail ends Now, if you want to keep it from like loosening up, you can tie a knot right here. You can tie a knot at with the two tails to keep this from loosening up. But when we're done putting these all the way around, we're going to be tying these on the top too. So it's just going to kind of depend on how your yarn behaves. Yes, just like that. So you're going to go around and loop those. I'll show you again. So you're going to be taking your length of yarn, match the two tails, and then fold it so you have a loop at the end.
And then all we're going to do...
You're going to put this through, and you want to try and stay consistent. Like if you do the tails one way and the loop the other way, then you're going to want to consistently do that the same direction. So then you tighten and just kind of scrunch the two together. And this is going to be a matter of personal taste, how closely you want them to be together. Do you want them, you know, squished, or do you want them a little fluffier? I'm going to trim this little bit here.
I want them close together, like...
Yeah, and because yours is fluffier, or thicker, I should say.
I'll be able to make 2 hats.
You won't have to do nearly as many. So that would be a good tip for if you're going to be doing this with children. Try and do a bulkier yarn because they won't have to do it as many times. And we all know kids' attention spans and patience.
That's not for us because we have ADD, obviously. Because we like crafting.
What did?
Most of the time, if we craft, we have ADD.
So this is a good thing to do with a cup of tea or some coffee, cocoa, listening to, yeah, keep going. Listening to Christmas music, or even if, you know, hanging out at the table at Thanksgiving, waiting for the food, the kids can start prepping for Christmas or gifting.
Oh, it's upside down.
So we're going to continue to wrap our loops, make our little rims, and then we'll meet you back here to do the next step. Okay, great. We're done adding all of our loops of yarn, and this is what you'll end up with, this like kind of octopusy looking thing going on here. So you'll want to kind of make sure that they're all spread out and that band is as covered as you want it to be. Like I said, you can cram it in there real thick, or you can kind of leave it a little looser, kind of just figure out what aesthetic you're looking for. So next, we're going to make the top part of the hat. So you're going to want to kind of finger comb all that yarn, make sure it's nice and down. And then you're going to want to get another length of your yarn, long enough to wrap around and tie. So this is also where, here, will you hold that? This is where helpers come in handy. But can you do it from like the top so I can see? There you go. Well, do 2 hands. So you're going to kind of finger comb it down, which they can't really, hang on, move your hand. So you're going to kind of bundle up all of the yarn, and then you're going to want to figure out how big you want your beanie. We're going to stuff them, which we can arguably do now because I think that might actually help with that. So you can either
tie it.
This is kind of one of those, it's good to use what you have. You can do just like tissue paper, you can do tissues, paper towels.
Like this one, and tie it.
We're gonna use some wool because as a fiber artist, I have wool. No, not yarn, wool. Oh. I have wool in spades. You can probably find 2 small styrofoam balls, or you can use even like pom-poms. They make pretty large ones nowadays. So you can put those in there, and the whole point being to kind of create a dome in your beanie. So let me grab those and then we'll meet you right back here. Okay, so we grabbed some just loose wool. Again, the polyfill from the store would work as well for this. It's just a matter of use what you have, or if you want to buy something special. I'm all about crafts that I can do with things found around the house because I've got a bajillion kids. So if I bought craft supplies for every craft, we would be in big trouble. All right, so you're going to want to wad it into a ball.
Wad it into a ball?
Yeah. And then kind of shove it in here and create that dome. And you're going to have to kind of play with how much you put in there and how much you stuff, because you might not want it to stick out the bottom. Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
That's perfect. No. You see, no? That's perfect.
If it helps you with your dome, whatever works. Probably also use cotton balls for this as well.
Like that? Yeah, my little head. Stick out the bottom. And my little head. Oh, she go. Yeah, that's perfect.
And then you're gonna want to kind of make sure all the little loop tails that are creating the dome of your hat, you're gonna want to make sure all of those are kind of
together.
Well, covering everything and kind of straightened. So that it looks cohesive and like a knit hat. Okay. Then you're going to take the last little loop, strip you cut, and you're going to tie right at the top of your dome. I like to do a square knot, and then I like to flip it over and do a square knot on the other side just to keep it nice and secure. Because I don't know if your household's like mine, but a lot of times decorations are manhandled quite a bit. So once you get that tie, then you can kind of play with the strands.
Put some more wax
in. And then if there's anything exposed, you can kind of situate them.
You have to make sure that none are peeking out the bottom, because that's how I am.
So if you like if you like that look, that's great. You can also see how it looks without the stuffing. So that's it without the stuffing. I'm going to go a little lighter on mine because it was starting to kind of poke through.
Oh, I tied it in there. That's good.
It works too. My big thing is I just don't want mine sticking out of the bottom side because I'm worried that the kids are going to see that sticking out and be like, oh, let me pull that the rest of the way.
I need like
right.
that.
Hmm?
I need like that all like stuffed in because it's like.
Well, yours is, so yours, because of the type of, this is a long wool breed, so that's why it's kind of a little stickier outer than normal. So what we can do is kind of like pretend like we're gonna needle felt it, you know, and like roll it in on itself.
Like into a little ball.
Yeah, and then you make it a little ball, and it might stick out a little bit. It's not the end of the world.
Like you said, you might see it.
And you can also play with putting a pom-pom up there and seeing if the pom-pom's the right size for what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So then once you have all that situated, you're going to kind of, I don't know, fix its ponytail, I guess is the right way of looking at it? Because some of the strands are a little loopier than the others.
Loopier?
Just by, yeah. So see how like right here, this is sticking out a little bit more than its neighbors, and right here. So I'm gonna find the ends of those and give them a slight little tug to kind of get them where I want them.
I mean, oh, I like it. Like,
if you're happy, well, again, this is where that thicker gauge yarn comes in handy.
And that, like, the hat's like thicker gauge.
Yeah.
That's why I chose this, because I'm like, wait, that would look like an actual real hat.
Mm-hmm. It looks good.
Yeah.
And then
just kind of pull them up to.
Yeah, just kind of, well, yeah, tighten. Most of it's just like I want mine to be kind of a little bit more uniform. So I'm gonna snug it up there and make it all behave. But so now you have your beanie. Beanie, toboggan, winter hat. There's so many different phrases for it. So now you get to decide if you want to make a pom-pom out of your little fringies on top, or if you would like to trim those and then put a regular pom-pom. Me personally, I want to turn this into a pom-pom because I kind of like how that looks. So that means we're going to give our hat a haircut.
A haircut? So
you're going to want to go a little bit more like modest at first.
Like right here?
Yeah, that's probably good. I would give yourself 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch.
But I also have, mine has longer here.
Because you can always trim down more, obviously. Once it's gone, it's gone.
You don't have the good scissors. They're not made for crafting.
Those are made for crafting. So when you're trying to cut yarn, if it's all flippy floppy, it's harder to cut. So you want to give it a little bit of tension so that it doesn't flippy flop in the scissors. And the flippy flop that's the technical term, like the scientific.
And then these are just like little ties for the.
Yeah, so you can.
How about we tie some right here, so it's like the we can glue pom poms.
You can do that too. Well, here, I'm gonna finish tying your square knot because you only did. You didn't do a square knot. What is this?
Oh, I did when you start to tie your shoes.
Yeah, well, you need to do that again. You have to do it 2 times for a square knot. Otherwise, it won't stay.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna want to finish your haircut a little bit. I'm going to straighten mine out just a scooch because its hair is wonkadoo.
Got that. Got it. Back in my scraps. You want that little?
No, I'm holding it, so it's personal preference. It's 100% personal preference. So that's where I am now with my little pom-pom. I'm going to kind of fringe out, if you're familiar with macrame, kind of fringe out macrame style the end.
That's a pom-pom?
To give it more of a pom-pom appearance. So if you have a dog slicker brush like this with the pins, this works great for this.
So I kind of want to do these.
Okay, it's up to you.
Wait, how do
So
you
I'm
do
kind of
that,
just
though?
gonna like comb. I'm just gonna like comb its hair. Can you quit outside? To kind of fluff it up, and it kind of frizzes out all of those strands of yarn. And it'll give it more of a poof.
How do you do like these on it? Do you just like trim it down like to right there?
Well, you're not gonna want to cut it too close to the top of the hat because then it's more likely that your knots will come undone.
Is this so like that?
I
Oh, around my hat.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to do either. Honestly, what I would do would be, it's going to be slightly more time consuming, but instead of cutting it right here, I would pull those in through the center of your hat.
Right here?
Yeah, like I would take the wool out and then using like a tapestry needle or something, or even because yours is a little too thick, get a crochet hook and put the crochet hook up the middle and loop those and pull them back. Or you can even do it from the outside and it'll create like a little knot there. And then you could just glue the pom-pom on with like hot glue or fabric glue.
I'll just do what you do.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think this is easier. And I personally like the yarn being the same as the pom-pom because I feel like that's more like how hats are for the most part.
I see it kind of like shove it down.
Now you're going to want to kind of be a little gentle with this process because if you start pulling too hard up here, it'll make your hat wonkadoo again. So now I've got carrot top apparently. That's fine. We'll clean it later. So,
I mean, I'm going to use it to...
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to just give it another haircut now that we've kind of fringed it out.
Look, turn it into wool. Now, like, do we turn it back to the wool? Oh, this wool going to waste.
Well, mine's not wool, mine's acrylic.
Acrylic?
Mm-hmm. Acrylic is basically plastic.
Snagging it.
I think yours... Well, that's what I'm saying. You need to be real gentle. Here, look. So when you put it down like this, and instead of trying to like comb it like you would your hair, kind of just like slap, I don't know, like poke it.
Like,
yeah,
just like if you're trying to hit a snake. Like if you're trying to hit it, but like you don't want it to bite you. Like,
I don't know about all that.
Like if moles come up and down.
So like you want to whack-a-mole your fringe.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't recommend because it's not like a forceful.
Yeah, look, just like a little like. Let's like make it.
How about it's more like you're trying to pick a lock. You gotta be nice and gentle. I don't know. I don't know how to boyify that, but it's just yeah. I know gentle isn't on your radar, but like nice and easy. Like you're combing an egg's hair.
An egg's?
Yeah. You don't want to like break your egg, but you need to comb its hair.
I mean, I'm allergic to it, so.
Yeah, I'm not saying eat it. And then it also, when you're getting to the metal part, if you kind of hold on to this so it doesn't like plug, like, and then you kind of just, again, is the technical term.
Mine's fluffier.
So again, that's that thicker yarn.
Bye.
All right, so we're gonna re-fluff your wool up in there. All right, so then you're kind of just fluff it back out since we kind of pulled it tight together and then you're going to give it a haircut to make it all pom-pommy.
Okay. I'm ready.
And then you're going to get pom-pommy goo everywhere. And we will be picking... Hey, nice and easy though, because if you go crazy, you can't put it back.
It's like trying to be a professional. Need to make the hair.
Professional Edward Scissorhands? I mean... And this is why I don't cut your hair anymore. Are you happy with your pom-pom?
It's a little hair. I might take a single yarn, tie it again. To make it like a little tighter.
Whatever you want to do, it's your hat. Personalize.
Yeah, that will look way nicer. they want to go like pom pom. Because now I have your red fluffy mic.
Oh. Take that. Nuh-uh. Not on the table, please. I don't want you bending the
But now
pins.
you pulled your jaw.
I didn't ruin anything. Quit shaking at my face, though.
Now that was not fun.
No, it was funny. Eat fuzz.
Oh yeah?
Don't. Alright.
But
My little pom-pom has wackadoo hair.
wackadoo hair?
Yep, wackadoo.
Was that?
It's not necessarily even.
Oh.
But it's cute.
Means cute too, right?
Oh. You, right there, behave.
Ah, behave. You need to behave. You're not big enough.
Behave or I cut you. I was talking to the hat. Alright. I'm fairly happy with my little pom-pom. I could probably keep trimming it because it is a little on the big side still, but I think it's cute, and I'm worried that if I keep going down, I'm going to make it worse. And here is Declan's. So at this point, you can add like you can glue some sequins around the brim, or
like we can
tie some embroidery floss around some of these to kind of make it look like speckled, or there's all sorts of things that you can do with these. And then when you're ready to make it an ornament, or you can even turn it into a garland if you do a bunch of these, and then you just loop a thread through the head portion of the hat, and then every now and then do that, and then you can make a little garland.
But how?
And then to hang on a tree, you would just get a bit of thread and go right underneath the pom-pom and make a loop, or you can get one of those like metal hooks, and it can just adhere to the back of the hat. So there we have it. Ornament number 1. Thanks for joining us. Keep a lookout for some of our other ornaments and Christmas, Craftember, holiday themed crafts that we'll be doing the rest of this month. Take care. Have a nice day. Happy crafting.